Hello everyone and welcome back. It is time to do my favourite tag of the year, which is the mid-year book freakout tag. And I've got to admit, I almost forgot. Yeah, I've been caught up with SBFBO reading and I've not been really paying as much attention to the normal booktube stuff that I do until I started seeing a few of my people that I'm subscribed to doing this tag, and I remembered that, yeah, I would like to do that because I've been doing this for a few years now and I really enjoy doing it. I've gone through and I've really tried to not be too specific to anything on the SBFBO, but there are one or two questions that relate to it that I'm going to talk about it. So I'll just get into the first question. Is what is your favourite book that you have read so far this year? And I've pulled out two because it's very difficult to pick. Although looking at them now, I'm going to get rid of the second one. And I'm just going to hold up Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I loved this so much. It was so much fun, and I have put a review up of this one and I just really enjoyed reading this one so very much. Question 2 is what is your favourite sequel that you have read this year? And at the start of the year I tried to finish off some series and things that I was in the middle of reading, and my favourite of those was Crowfall by Ed McDonald, which is the third book in the Raven's Mark trilogy. I had read the first two a while back and then reread the first two and bought the third part so that I could complete the trilogy, and everything about this book is just weird and gets weirder, and we just follow so much of what's going on in the world and why the world is as it is, and things just get strange and dangerous. Well, stranger and more dangerous. I love this trilogy. It was such a fascinating fantasy world and I really did enjoy it. Question 3 is what is a new release you haven't read yet, and that is Catalyst Gates by Megan E. O'Keefe, and this is the third book of the trilogy. I have read the first two and they start with Velocity Weapon and Chaos Vector. The books are over there. I can't remember the name of the trilogy, but I was really looking forward to the third part and I will get that soon and I will read it soon. Question 4 is what is your most anticipated release of the second half of the year? I have two and I cannot decide between the two of them. The first one is Billy Summers by Stephen King, because I always look forward to a new Stephen King book, and early reviews of this one that I've seen are really promising. Stephen King, I know, can be a little bit hit or miss, but this one looks like it's going to be quite a good one. Also could not resist putting this one in, The Fall of Babel by Josiah Bancroft, which is the fourth and I believe final book of the Books of Babel series, and that is such a good series and I've been waiting to see how that one ends, and by the end of the year I will do. I think that's out in November. Question 5 is what is your biggest disappointment of this year, and I had a long look through the books I had read and in the end the main disappointment of this year is that we're still dealing with the fallout of last year. We're still going through it. Question 6 is what is your biggest surprise of the year, and this one is not any of the books I have read. It was being picked as a judge for the self-published fantasy blog off, which was such a massive surprise. I have been following it for years. I love the competition. I've read many books from it because it is such a great way of bringing self-published fantasy to the forefront and showing stuff that you wouldn't normally see. So actually being chosen to be one of the judges this year is absolutely incredible opportunity for me, and I have had so much fun so far just showing you the books that I'm reading, and I've still got so much to come. Can't wait. It's definitely was a surprise. Question 7 is who is a favourite new author to you? Now this can be debut or just a new author to you, and at the risk of spoiling something that's coming up on the SBFBO because I haven't recorded the review yet, C.M. Lackner, and I'm not going to say anything else. Question 8 is a question I skip every year because I'm 39. It's who is your new fictional crush? Question 9 is who is your favourite new character? I don't want to give too much away, but there's a character in this, and if you've read this, you know exactly which character I'm on about. that one. Question 10 is which book has made you cry this year? And as we have discussed many times, I am a cold, heartless person who doesn't cry at books until I do, and I cried at First Lord's Fury this year. It's the final book of the Codex Alera series and it made me feel things. Question 11 is what is a book that made you happy this year? This one. I smiled so much while I was reading this one. It was just so much fun. I loved it. Question 12 is what is your favourite book to film adaptation? And I've got to admit, I've been going for the comfort viewing, so I've just been continuing to work my way through Star Trek. I've also rewatched The Witcher several times and Good Omens several times, so the Star Trek books, those perhaps? Question 13 is what is your favourite video or review you have done this year? And I think it's going to be my introduction to the self-published fantasy blog off, because as I said before, it's such a massive opportunity for me and I'm just really pleased with how that video came out. There was a lot of editing to it and I think it worked really well and just came out. I was really happy with what came out. Question 14 is what is the most beautiful book you bought or have received this year? And this is The Galaxy and the Ground Within, and this was my favourite read of the year until I read Project Hail Mary, but this thing is stunning. It is not only purple on the front, purple under the dust jacket with a pink foiling, but it has some beautiful end papers. This whole thing is really just lovely, and the fact that it's purple just makes me love it all that more. But the purple is relevant to the story. It's definitely a beautiful thing. And question 15 is what is a book you need to read by the end of the year? Putting aside Billy Summers by Stephen King, I still have 18 books on my pile of 30 for the SBFBO to read. So I need to be getting on with those. So that was the mid-year book freakout tag. Have you done this tag? I would love to see. Are there any books that you would like to get read by the end of the year? Thanks for watching and I shall see you all soon.